Yo, what's up, guys? It's Talon, and today I kind of want to show you guys how to play into matchups that counter you. Obviously, every matchup that counters you is going to be different. It's not going to be the same way to play every time. So I'm more trying to talk about the general points of to understand that even when you get countered by a champion, you have certain strengths and weaknesses. So Kassadin is a very good counter to Orianna, for example, because of Kassadin's magic shield, because Kassadin is able to dive onto Orianna very effectively, and Orianna struggles when champions can dive on top of her easily, and he just overall kind of outscales her in the game, despite Orianna being a good scaling champion. And so I want to show you how I take advantage of the points in the matchup that still make sense for my champion. So level 1 is a great example. Level 1, my champion has stronger auto attacks and obviously more range compared to the Kassadin. And so I made Kassadin choose between auto attacking me or auto attacking a minion. Because of that, he lost the minion. And so even though I traded evenly in terms of health, I already got that gold lead. Additionally, I noticed we both have first strike, and so I'm able to get the first strike first because I am, again, obviously the ranged champion. And so multiple first strike procs I've already gotten onto him. I've made him lose a minion, and I've kept the lane pushing to have pressure to get the early vision on the jungle so that I can't get ganked very effectively by the enemy. So even though, again, I'm in a bad matchup, I take advantage of the power spikes I have. In this case, it's level 1, and what that does, again, is really allows me to kind of get that early poke. For me, before level 5, I'm not overly scared of a Kassadin, and so I can trade effectively with him, again, even though he's going to be a champion who can do well into me. Because I know he's going to outscale me, the main goal is to get a gold lead early. Probably not going to kill a Kassadin in the early game, just not a realistic thing, of course, because, you know, he has the magic shield. He's a pretty safe champion. So again, the main purpose is to poke, take good recall timers, and just be able to help our team out early. And so that's pretty much what we're doing. You see me effectively pushing. And because we kept track of their jungle, we're hovering the top side because we know that he'd be bot side at this point, because he obviously went, because we saw him at the time we saw him, he's obviously, you know, went red Krugs or Krugs red, then Raptors, and is going blue side. And then now that we have our mana boots, we're immediately going to take a recall so then we can get onto the wave first. Once we're on mana boots, hit level 5 off the wave, and then have an opportunity to help our team out. So that's basically exactly what we do here. Go onto the wave, try to effectively get control over the wave, and then because we realize that we can't really push it super effectively, instead we're just going to play for a bit of that lane lead, right? Because I'm not really going to be able to help my team out, and I'm not really going to have anywhere to roam. So say that there was an opportunity to roam, I would have pushed a lot faster, but instead I'm just going to continue to deny him gold. And so we're just building up these small gold leads into this type of matchup. So like when you're playing into a bad matchup, make sure that you're not scared too much. Again, even here, Kassadin used his ult onto me, and so I ended up chasing him down after he used his ult instead of just letting him, you know, trade for free. So basically, it's all of these types of things, right? I know that he can't actually kill me because he's building a more scaling build with his tier and all these types of things, right? And I have the cleanse, and so I'm not afraid to trade back. Again, you need a generally in these matchups, a lot of people, they get really like scared in any type of matchup that counters them, and they don't try to trade back when the enemy makes a mistake. But if Kassadin over-aggresses or Kassadin uses all of their abilities, I need to make sure that I'm trading back onto the Kassadin. So Kassadin just used every ability here, and because of that, we end up trading. We use their ult because they have no cooldowns, and unfortunately, my cooldown's like half a second, you know, shorter, and I would kill him there. But either way, getting that pressure, taking advantage of their mistakes, all these types of things ends up pressuring them off. And then because his jungle's here, we obviously can't pressure harder. But you can see how we've had the pressure in the lane. We're up a very slight amount of gold, only 50 gold, but again, into a hard matchup, getting the proper recall timers where, sure, we weren't able to actually get anything out of our opportunities we created to potentially roam, but the fact is we created those opportunities, whereas Kassadin's not had them because we've had complete control over the lane, we've had the vision control, we've had everything that we could possibly want. And then I wanted to see if my teammates would need help to maybe quickly go there, but obviously we see nothing, so we go right back towards the mid lane. And this is the first time where Kassadin really has control, right? Which makes sense. You know, level 7, the champion counters me. I'm not going to over-aggress now at this point when they're starting to get a bit stronger. Instead, we're just going to, again, play around our strengths, play around our farm, and pretty much just that, you know, put ourselves in a position to help our teammate out, go on the wave as soon as it gets here, and again, not be afraid to trade back once Kassadin uses his abilities if he does. So because he's just used everything there, we'll use this opportunity to easily clear the wave and once again get that control. And then if he does go on me, because I'm up a level, once again, we can easily trade back on him and then just get a bunch of damage. So again, we have this health lead onto them despite the not great matchup, you know, that we're in. So just keeping this constant pressure trading around our kind of advantages again. Basically, that's the main thing to keep in mind, right? Whatever your champion strengths are, you need to trade around them no matter if you're countered or not. Like, maybe a Darius would counter a tank champion, for example, but if that Darius lets you get short trades and then get out, you're going to be out-sustaining him, even if it is a Darius, you know, because he just wants to all in. Same thing here. Kassadin very much trades around his ability cooldowns, and so as soon as his ult is used and he uses his abilities, I need to get as much damage back as possible, and that's kind of what I'm constantly looking at. And you can see here, once again, he uses his abilities, so what do? I go straight in on him. What does he do here? Once again, over-aggresses. So if he walks back into my ball, we can potentially look for some type of all-in, and then here is where he really kind of fucks up, and again, just we get him way, way lower. We're sustaining way better, and overall having complete control of the lane. Up over 300 gold now at this point, hitting our power spike, able to have control of the wave the entire game, right? And again, I know every matchup's unique, so don't get me wrong. Some matchups you have to play way safer than this. You don't have as much ability to early punish, so I'm not saying that every matchup is going to be playing like this. The thing I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that you need to play around whatever spikes and strengths your champion does have, even into these harder matchups. Because I'll see a lot of people, like I said, they're very scared anytime that they're countered by anything. And they're not really trying to, you know, pressure the most. So that's another thing. And then here we get a nice little ultimate after we cleanse the Vi. But we do end up still having our teammate die. But yeah, we know that we still have the damage here. So if Kassadin does go on us, we're fine. We force Kassadin flash. And then I think we end up killing the Vi as well. We do. So we end up getting Kassadin 1 HP, forcing their flash, even though Vi ulted onto us because we do have that cleanse. And almost killing a second. So now we're quite strong here at this point, and we obviously want to recall because we have our item, right? So now at this point, once again, because I'm ahead of the pace of the game and I used my advantage as well in the early game, I'm able to recall. I have over 1,500 more gold than the Kassadin, and now we're completely, you know, okay with trading, obviously, with this big of a gold lead. Shout out to my Gragas, by the way, for smurfing this game as well, and anti-shout out to their Graves. Their Graves has 4 of their 5 deaths already. He's running it down. So, you know, another thing about this game is I want to point out that sometimes, even though a lot of times my teammates int, sometimes my opponents int too, like this Graves, for example. And that always is nice. But look at this burst damage here because of how ahead we are. Again, taking advantage of literally one-shotting a Kassadin because of how ahead we are. And again, a lot of that due to those early things that we do to have that pressure and have those opportunities to gain leads. And again, even though many of those opportunities didn't work out, like we didn't get a specific kill off a roam or whatever, one time where we had the pressure and then the Vi tried to gank us, we get that kill, and all of a sudden we're way, way ahead. Then I'm trying to play around my Gragas since he's the stronger person, but probably would have been better to go topside here. But yeah, we tried playing around Gragas, getting him a kill, but we don't really get much, so we just end up recalling, spending our gold. And yeah, I mean, Kassadin does end up, I think, getting the kill onto the Gragas here, so a little unfortunate for us, but not much we can really do about that. And now we're just, again, focusing on farming, focusing on just getting ourselves up. So at this point now, we're kind of out of the lane phase. Main purpose of our champion at this point is just to get as much gold on the map as possible, so we'll kind of skip through and show you guys, you know, how we do that. So we just go into the mid lane, focus on getting the wave right. You saw me catch the top wave first because there wasn't a mid wave, and then as soon as the mid wave comes, I'm immediately catching that, making sure I'm clearing the wave so that they can't get the turret. Once again, waiting for this mid wave. As soon as the mid wave reaches, we're going to try to clear it. Obviously, the enemy are kind of pressuring us, so we can't go super aggressive on it. But then after that, we end up being able to rotate towards topside. We'll show you guys. We'll go back here a little. But we end up rotating towards topside, and sometimes I just try to skip through to, you know, not show the super boring parts. But basically here, we get the roam after we push the lane. Notice how we did push the lane before we roamed, right? And then now that we've pushed the lane, we end up being able to kill the Tristana, and I believe kill the Yuumi as well. We get the double kill there. Then Kassadin ends up trying to chase down our Emilio, so obviously we're going to try to deal with the Kassadin. But you can just see how many kills we have. We're just very strong at this point. And then I miss all my abilities because I suck. So I don't end up killing Kassadin when I would have otherwise. A little unfortunate. It is what it is. Either way, very strong. Already almost on death cap at this point. So we're just going to recall. Spend our gold again and now just be in a good spot for this fight. Playing pretty patiently. Kind of understanding that I'm the carry of this game alongside Gragas. And so my life is very important. Make sure, again, I push out the wave. Notice how I'm always pushing this wave. Just fundamental gameplay. Push that wave before you end up rotating, and then set my ball up in a nice place so that the enemy don't have a very easy time walking forward. Just constantly kind of zoning them off to the best of my ability. Gragas with a really good engage. Ultimate misses because Gragas ultimate moved them out, sadly. But the Gragas ultimate gets a lot of value, and the team still ends up popping off. Useless flash by me, but it's fine. Good fight overall by us. Good positioning, and their Graves once again kind of trolling them. So definitely, you know, unfortunate for them that they have the Graves, but it is what it is, you know. Unfortunately, we all deal with these troll teammates sometimes. And then again, because my team is going mid, or was going mid, I end up covering the bot lane, and also I'm being very greedy for this kind of gold, right? Like, if my ADC decides after seeing me already go there that he's gonna go to the lane I was in, you know, that's not something I'm really gonna concern myself with. I'm just gonna focus on getting as much gold as possible. And then I obviously would want to go mid after if it wasn't covered. But just generally catching these side waves that have the most gold for you is ideal. Again, if I knew that for some reason my teammate wouldn't go there, maybe I should cover mid. But generally, I think it's important to be very aware of side lanes. And then we end up getting caught here, but I think we end up living. I don't remember for sure. Yeah, we use the ultimate. You can see the burst damage. I mean, we got her almost 1 HP just with one full combo. And then Melio shields me. I don't know if I would have died to red buff or not, but shout out to Melio for trying to save me. Very, very kind of her. And so yeah, again, just kind of scaling up, waiting for anything to really happen. Not much going on. Just covering the side waves. Again, we go bot. Graves ends up showing up here, but because he's he's really weak, we end up just killing him. So again, that guy was an interesting person. And Graves is really bad into Orianna and just AP champions in general, since his passive kind of revolves around a AD or armor rather. And then because the enemy end up trolling and going on to Gragas, again, we just go through the go for the Baron and we get it for free. So again, main things that I really want you guys to learn from this video, and that's why I'm skipping through, because not every video is going to be about the entire game. It's kind of certain parts of the game that are really important. The main thing I want you guys to understand is when you're in a hard matchup, the main thing that you need to focus on is finding whatever strength your champion does have and playing around that. So in this case for me, my level 1 and before level 5 in general, I can get that poke on Kassadin and I can utilize that to still trade effectively on them and then get a gold lead. And then if I have a gold lead, my later parts of the game where I'm a little weaker compared to Kassadin, not going to matter as much because I'm still going to be good into the rest of the enemy team. And I'm going to be ahead of the pace of the game because I use that early game effectively. If you have like later game, you know, kind of strengths, there's also other things to do if like you're the weaker early matchup, and certainly can make more videos showing like specifics, you know, with champions who have say weaker early games into certain matchups, how to play them, how to get through them, that type of thing. But yeah, just generally finding kind of what your champion's strength is, what the goal is of your champion, playing around that, and then making sure that you're farming effectively, which is kind of the second part of this video that you can see where we're able to get ourselves a bunch of gold by constantly covering these side lanes, over 1k gold per minute at this point in the game because of, you know, just covering those side lanes and everything like that. And then Gragas stalls for like a millennium here and somehow ends up living, and then we throw our ball on him and get the KS. So don't know how Gragas lived there. I'm duo with the Gragas, by the way. Shout out to him. But yeah, don't really know how he lives. He's kind of goated on Gragas. He has like thousands of games on Gragas, so there is that. And then again, the last thing is kind of cooldown tracking with keeping track of the, you know, abilities they have, because obviously even if Kassadin counters me, if Kassadin use their ult, their flash, everything that they have, then it doesn't really matter. If they counter me, they don't have any abilities. So here again, we end up getting 1 kill, and then Kassadin goes in, we get the second, and sadly don't get the third, but we got 2. We'll take that, and so we're just very fed at this point, and just gonna, you know, obviously push with the Baron, pretty straightforward, so we'll kind of skip again through this. I guess we killed someone here. We can go look at how we killed someone. I guess Vi tries to go onto the Vayne, and then yeah, we just throw our ball onto the Vayne, and we ult, get a bunch of burst damage in one shot. The Vi, so yeah, Orianna damage kind of OP here. I might make a video more specifically about how to play Orianna as well. This video is not specifically focused on Orianna, but yeah, I might do that. I've been getting quite good at Orianna. I feel like been carrying a lot of games on her, and she's really fun. I do think she's worse overall than Syndra, pretty much always, mostly because Syndra's lane phase is way better because of higher range. Orianna is still a decent laner in a lot of games, but Orianna gets countered a lot harder by aggressive assassins, and also Syndra beats Orianna because of that range advantage. So overall, you know, that's why I do think Syndra's better, but I think Orianna's probably a top 5 mid laner in the game, I would say right now. Mages in general feel quite nice, and Kassadin's definitely the biggest counter to these mages, which is why I thought it's also nice to show a video kind of how to play into this Kassadin, where you see a lot of times, even if you're a mage, if the Kassadin blows all of their stuff, you need to trade back with autos and with your, you know, damage, instead of just letting them ult you, do a bunch of damage to you, and then run away for free. Like, you need to punish those cooldowns really effectively. And then now we're just making sure we have mid control so that we can get the Baron, or at least have control over the Baron side. So it's kind of important wherever the objective is that you're controlling that side of the map to the best of your ability. I tried to ult, but he ends up flashing out. You didn't see that ult though. Nobody saw it, all right? If you did see it, I will ban you, so, you know, you better pretend like you didn't, even if you did. But again, just controlling this mid lane. The Tristana is very fed, so that's kind of the main concern for us right now, which is why I'm trying to get good poke onto her. But honestly, I don't think I should have even tried to poke her because she has Bloodthirster and I don't have healing, so the poke is more permanent onto me. But you can see my damage onto the Kassadin is very high. The second ability damage was pretty absurd there. And so pretty much my life is all I care about. Like, as long as I can live, we're kind of chilling. So we end up getting the ult damage onto the Vi, getting that double kill, getting the triple onto the Tristana, chasing down the Yuumi, missed my first ability so I don't kill her. And if I did kill her, I would have gotten a penta, but instead I missed that. I end up flashing, killing the Graves, killing the Yuumi, but it's not a pentakill because Riot Games hates me and gave me a double kill instead. So I got a triple kill and a double kill consecutively, but because I didn't kill that Yuumi fast enough, we don't get the penta. I cried myself to sleep last night because this game happened last night because I didn't get the pentakill. It was all I could think about. Absolutely devastated. Probably quitting Wild Rift forever because I'm too sad about it. So this is actually my last video that I'll ever make. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was a nice video. That's obviously a joke. I'm not quitting YouTube or streaming. I hope that was obvious. If it wasn't obvious, I don't really know what to say. But I will end this video after I show you guys the stats now. So we got MVP because obviously we got MVP. We had 14 kills. And overall damage from our team, we did 42%. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed.